here it is. Mavs back at 12.
Yep.
Dereck Lively from Duke is going to Dallas with the 12th pick that they traded down to select from Oklahoma City. I like that for Dallas.
So this is a grade A draft for Dallas if they keep Dereck Lively for me. They use number 10 to slide down to get off of the Davis Bertans contract, which increases their flexibility long term. And then they get the center who they need to be able to anchor a defense with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And oh, by the way, the center who is going to be an unbelievable rim runner for Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving out of ball screens. It might not be next year. Like they probably need to figure out an answer at center for next season. But this is the guy long-term that I think made the most sense for them if they were to select in the lottery.
Phenomenal kid. Really, really humble, kind-hearted, just a really, really good person. I want to say that first and foremost about Lively. And that tends to be a lot of the trends of the guys we're talking about here at the top of this draft. Like they check out a lot of boxes on the character side. Lively's enormous, absolutely massive. And he has played the 5-man position incredibly well for Duke this past year, particularly the final 8 weeks of the season. His in-season growth of understanding his role and how to impact the game with his length was tremendous. It took a lot of discipline to get him there. He was foul prone early, wasn't always great at verticality, things he knew how to do at lower levels, but didn't do every single time. He bought into that. He evolved as the season went on. He was unbelievable from a defensive perspective. And I've said this on the podcast before, the best 20 minutes of basketball I think I saw from a college prospect this year was Dereck Lively in the first half of the NCAA tournament against Oral Roberts. He changed everything about that game. They were scared to breathe near him. You know, Lively has taken a little bit more time to grow into his own as the true 5-man for different reasons. He played alongside other bigs at lower levels. Westtown school, where he went to high school, he was more of the 4-man at Westtown. If you can believe that, Dereck Lively playing the 4 in high school. They had, I always butcher his name, Frank Kepang, who ended up going to Oregon. Kepnong, who ended up going to Oregon and then Washington. They were high school teammates. Playing for AAU in team final. He and Jalen Duren, teammates on the AAU circuit. He has played next to other bigs. I think it just took him a little bit of time to come around to, okay, this is my show. The floor is a little bit more spread. I got to clean up everything in the basket. But when he adjusted to that, he was damn dominant as a defender for Duke. There is some offensive stuff to tap into with him. Decent flashes as a short roll creator. Not great right now, but decent. He's proven he can shoot the ball at lower levels. I don't know if I'd rely on that for an impact role right away, but there's at least something there to work with. It takes younger guys a year or so to turn into reliable rim protectors in the NBA. Lively probably has that similar developmental curve. But long-term, screen and roll next to Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic, space in the dunker spot, clean up everything at the rim. The fit is seamless.
Yeah, like my take on Lively has always kind of been that I think he's a little bit of a higher upside Mitchell Robinson. And Mitchell Robinson's great. Like Mitchell Robinson's probably a top, 13 center in the NBA. So Lively, I think, has the upside to be something like a top 8 center in the NBA at some point. Defensively, he's just a stud. I think he can make an all-defense team or two at some point. His ability to protect the rim is ridiculous. He does control the defensive glass pretty well for somebody that is as big and can be moved around a little bit like he can generally. He is somebody that is versatile in ball screen coverages. You brought up that Oral Roberts game. The thing that stands out most is the fact that they would hard hedge him. They'd play flatter at the level against Max Asmus and kind of catch him in that drop, or they just straight play drop from time to time, right? I think this is a home run. This is the Mavs, I think, for the capital that they have and for what they have achieved so far, outside of the top 4 picks, I think this is my favorite draft so far from any team.
I like that. I need you to do me a favor, Sam, because I just had this horrible dream. Did Orlando take Jet Howard at 11? Am I making that up?
I'm lower on Jet Howard. I think I might be lower on Jet Howard than you are.
You are.
Yeah. And I think this is like not unreasonable.
It's defensible.
It's defensible. That's a good way to put it.
Because of the fit, it's defensible. I just, I just want to make sure that happened. I'm not making it up.
And here's the other reason I think it's defensible is that they now maintain the ability to just play absolutely enormous, right? Yeah. Like Jet Howard, for whatever you want to call him, is huge, right? Like for a 2 guard essentially, which is what he's gonna have to play. He's gonna play 2 in Orlando. Yeah, no, I got, for what it's worth, like I got tipped off that this was a possibility at one point, and I thought this was like, okay, Grady Dick somehow went off the board, and they just maybe don't want Dereck Lively. Maybe they don't feel good about Coulibaly for some reason. Like maybe this is like a last-ditch resort, but it clearly wasn't. They just clearly loved Jet Howard. And oh, by the way, like Orlando marches to be their own drum with this stuff. They always have, and I'm going to be fascinated. Vicente Greco asks, while we're waiting for number 13, which I don't know why number 13 is taking as long as it is. I think a lot of the time
he just walked out. Sam, you jinxed it.
Okay.
Is Lively playing in the playoffs? Maybe.
I think yes. I think that we've seen guys that are this big, like, you know, Mitchell Robinson essentially just played in the playoffs, right? I think that really helped Dereck Lively throughout this process.